Welcome back to Movie Reviews from a Drawing Table. My name's Brian. So I was on vacation last week, so no new updates, to post or anything like that. Um, Basically downtime. The TV in the Airbnb was occupied. Son was binge watching Bleach so he can catch up for the movie that just came out. Wife was watching something on Netflix. Me, at least I had my phone and Tubi. Yay, Tubi! And I've been a fan of Steven Kostanski since The Void, which I will do a review on that. Not to mention Psycho Gorman and the Deathstalker remake. I'll do reviews on those as well. But I'd never seen Manborg until this past week. Now, I'll be honest, this movie reeked. It just screamed. This was a comic book that Kostanski had created as a child, and he found it and wanted to make a movie out of it. And I applaud that, because how else can you explain we go to war with hell, which is occupied by basically Nazi vampires, zombie killing machines, maybe. And the hero is a dead soldier, revived X number of years later, maybe, to take down the leader of hell. And he is now a cyborg who is the titular Manborg. That's basically it. But the characters in this movie scream of they were made on 8.5 by 11 paper, stapled together in a story that only a child could come up with, because I've been there myself. You get characters like Manborg, number one man. Now, that character was clearly inspired by Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat, even going so far as to be hilariously overdubbed. Justice. Yeah. And I dug this movie so much. I looked it up. And pardon my French, but I'm calling bullshit on the budget. Yes, this is it's definitely a cheap movie. It has its rough edges. Don't get me wrong. There are more rough edges on it than sandpaper. But in 2011 money, Canadian, which I went online and turns out it was an almost 1-to-1, exchange rate. For 1,000 Canadian, they did all the practical effects, so much stop motion. There was obviously some CG had to be used. They filmed it in a garage, most of it in a garage. A lot of the props were found in dumpsters. This was a homemade, top to bottom film. And I call BS, because that they stretched that $1,000 further than I think most people do living paycheck to paycheck. Seriously. And I love this movie. I had stupidest grin on my face the whole time. Even little stupid comments like, it's guarded by a future lock. If you watch this movie and you don't stare off to the cameraman in your little imaginary personal movie and you break your own fourth wall, you're not living. Seriously. The movie is so over the top acted, but it worked. I loved it so much. And Kostanski, he knows his special effects, he knows his practical effects, he knows his, makeup effects. He knows how to craft a fun story with characters that you do want to follow, that make you laugh, that almost wink every scene they're in. I love it. In fact, I love it so much, I had to come up with a new rating for this one. Yeah. So for movies like Manborg that were so cheesy, yes, I went there. I could think of no better rating than a plate of nachos. Seriously. The whole popcorn meter, it just didn't feel right to me. This movies like this are in a category of their own, and for that, they get a plate of nachos. They're cheesy, they're messy, but damn it if you don't love them. I I recommend this movie. It's on Tubi. It's free. It's about 70 minutes, so it's not like, anybody's asking you to spend your life watching something. Even getting interrupted by commercials was no big deal. So that's it. I recommend the movie. I recommend Manborg. I'll see you next time.